gentlemen, and welcome to this week's episode of AEW Dynamite Recap Show. I am Ronald Ray, your boy with a cornbread accent. Hopefully, everybody's having a awesome week so far. We're almost to the end of it. Of course, unless you got work Saturdays, but we're almost to the end of it. So stick it out, folks. We're almost there. Anyway, uh, this episode of Dynamite takes place at the Key Bank Center in Buffalo, New York, and it is the go home Dynamite before this weekend's AEW Forbidden Door pay per view. So, got a lot of face offs and uh, partners who are going to be opponents, and a few little setups. So, a few things to get into. So, hey, if you like what you're seeing here, hit the like button. Also, leave a comment. What you think about this week's Dynamite? Also, just for the hell of it, say hello, and I'll say hello back. Also, if this is your first time watching, be a champ and hit that subscribe button. Well, all that out of the way, let's let her rip. Like I said, this is the go home show before this weekend's AEW Forbidden Door pay per view. Hey, is anybody out there going to watch this pay per view? Let me know in the comments and let me know what you think. Speaking of Forbidden Door, tonight's episode of Spot Show live stream, which starts at 8 p.m., I will be doing a prediction portion of that show tonight, or Forbidden Door prediction. So uh, we'll see how right I am and how wrong I am. Anyway, kicking off this week's Dynamite is Maxwell Jacob Freeman, otherwise known as MJF. He gets to the ring, and before he can really say anything, Daniel Garcia comes out. Uh, he comes to the ring and says, before MJF has a chance to badmouth the uh, Buffalo, the city, the crowd, his family, whoever, he's going to do something that not too many people are going to do for MJF, and that's actually talk good about MJF. So he does that. He mentions the little pep talk he got. Talks about MJF giving Daniel Garcia a shot at the AEW World Title, and of course he admitted that he got pretty embarrassed by MJF. MJF grabbed the mic and said some nice things about Daniel Garcia. Said, "Look, knew you had potential and maybe a pillar to this company, so that's why I gave you a shot. So how about it? How about me and you go at it again at All In Wembley? Yes, I know they got a pay per view this weekend they need to sell, but why worry about this weekend? Let's already jump on Wembley or already. What do you folks think? Anyway, uh, but yeah, MJF mentioned that he respects the grind of Daniel Garcia and everything he's doing, trying to be one of the top guys there. And speaking of the grind, here comes Will Ospreay. He said he also appreciates Daniel Garcia's work ethic, saying, "Hey, how about me you next week, bruv, for the international championship, and not only the international championship, but the world championship." Of course, Will Ospreay will be going against Swerve Strickland at the pay per view for the world championship, but looks like Will Ospreay's been quite, quite confident that he's going to win it this weekend. Daniel Garcia says, "Hey, that sounds good to me. Let's go for it." Then Will Ospreay left. Uh, Daniel Garcia went back to MJF, and before Garcia could say anything, said, "Look, kid." MJF said, "Look, kid, you concentrate on next weekend, or next week's Dynamite, because it's going to be a hell of an opportunity for your career, buddy." Of course, as all this go along, we see Swerve Strickland in the back watching all this take place, and question Will already offering a world title match, even though he hasn't won it. Also stated that he better hold up his end in the tag team match later on tonight against the Gates of Agony. All right, now we have our first match of the night. It is a six-man trios match. John Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli, the BCC, going against the LIJ, Shingo Takagi, uh, Titan, but Teton, I think they call him Teton, and Hiromu Takashi. I'm butchering names. Like I said, I'm from the South, and we will butcher some names. Anyway, this thing starts out as Shingo and Claudio trade strikes with each other, get attack on or tags in on Wheeler, but the Lij take over on him. The BCC get the picture and picture advantage. Then Claudio gets a hot tag. Mox comes in. Shingo and Moxley exchange strikes, as does Yuta and Takahashi. Uh, Moxley must have said fuck this and nailed Takahashi with a chair. That caused the disqualification. Uh, Tetsuya Nato comes out and brawls with John Moxley. Shingo Takagi gave a striking blow to Yuta's neck and head, which brings Brian Danielson out from the commentators table, and them two have a little bit of a stare down. So, like I said before, a lot of stare downs in this episode of Dynamite, and that's the one of many. All right, next up is a uh, quarterfinal match in the Owen Hart Tribute Tournament or the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. It is Jay White going against Ray Phoenix. A good back and forth match. All the corner guys from Ray Phoenix's corner and the Bang Bang Gang, they're all thrown out for the bell rings. But once the bell rings, they went at it. Like I said, back and forth stuff, some good near falls. But it was Jay White with the Blade Runner who gets the win. Uh, the Bang Bang Gang comes out and celebrate. But the Patriarch, Nick Wayne, Killswitch, and Christian Cage come out and basically they didn't get a ring, but they just locked eyes on them and then walked out. So I guess they had to fill in some time somewhere. So next up, the Young Bucks, gave a little promo saying they did not like how things went down last week. Then the Claim came down to the ring. Max Caster got on the mic and talking about getting up in the Young Bucks' ass. Yeah. Anyway, Anthony Bowen comes out and says they will become two-time tag champs. And before he and Daddy Ass can do the whole scissoring thing, uh, the Bucks come out with Okada and challenge him for a trios match. Billy Gunn says, you know what? You know, I know how to deal with these EVPs, and I know a few EVPs and presidents. Looks to the screen. Hiroshi Tanahashi's video plays, and looks like he will be the uh, third man for the Acclaim. He calls himself Scissor Ace, I believe. So it won't be Billy Gunn with the Acclaim. It will be Hiroshi Tanahashi teaming up with the Acclaim, going against the Young Bucks and Okada. All right, now it's time for some uh, trios trios late the six women tag team match. It is the AEW Women's Champion teaming up, or Tony Storm teaming up with her Forbidden Door opponent, Mina Sarakawa and Mariah May. They went up against Outcast members, Saraya, Holly Cameron, and I don't know if she's a full Outcast member yet, but Anna Jay wind up is teaming up with them. Uh, Mini, or excuse me, Mina and May had an advantage until Mariah didn't know who to tag, so she got a little confused. The Outcast wound up taking advantage. Tony Storm got the hot tag. Mina tags herself in. Outcast again took the advantage of them arguing, but Mina regrouped, hit the Mina driver on Holly for the win. Mina and Tony Storm, at the request of Mariah May, shared a toast that Mina grabbed a bottle of champagne, was going to hit Tony Storm, but Storm ducked and wound up hitting Mariah May with the bottle, laying her out. Of course, this does not make Tony Storm too happy. She went down to console her student who was, like I said, not out. Um, we really didn't see her walking out of the ring, but eh, I'm pretty sure she sold it well. Um, Decent little trios match here. It wasn't that bad. I've seen a whole lot worse, uh, but they kept it in pretty good. Mariah May did a good job of selling and that slow comeback. Nothing wrong with that. But the whole again I say, but this is the first one where we're seeing two opponents actually in a tag team. We'll see the other two in the main event, but not bad. Had to kind of put in another angle. Poor Mariah May get in the middle of them two kind of arguing for her or arguing over her, I guess. Uh, we should see what happens at the pay per view, though. All right, Chris Jericho comes in with the Bad Apple and the Big Branch, wherever he called Big Bill. Uh, kind of goes in not liking that the Bad Apple got hurt due to Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Hook. Uh, Said there's going to be another trios match, and thought the partner's going to be Minoru Suzuki, but Suzuki displayed a video and wound up challenging Chris Jericho. Says he don't like him much anyway. After the video ends, Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Hook came out, exchanged a few words, and they started brawling, which didn't last long. It was Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Hook standing tall in the ring. I will say, this whole cheesy Chris Jericho, hi guy, and the learn tree, spitting out quote unquote facts. I think it's pretty funny. The Shibata thing with a translator on the phone is I think it's funny as well too. And the whole Samoa Joe with Hook, you know, it's a better fit than I would say Hook with Chris Jericho. And, it did make sense because Jericho was ECW as well, but either way, you know Joe Hook with Shibata as well. This is a better fit. All right, then we got two. I would say the second best match of the night. Zack Sabre Jr. against Kyle O'Reilly. A good technical match. After a feeling out process, Sabre took over, working on the arm. O'Reilly would regroup, come back, start working on the leg. A great exchange of holds between Zack Sabre and Kyle O'Reilly, but it was Zack Sabre Jr. getting a tap out win with an armbar. And of course, here comes the undeniable undisputed kingdom. They're trying to recruit Kyle O'Reilly, join back with them. Orange Cassidy's in there. Uh, Another little face off between Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre. A lot of moving parts here, um, but we're not sure if Kyle O'Reilly will go back to the kingdom. Uh, and it's like, who cares? It's like they put MJF, their number one enemy, against everybody else but them. So I'm not as confused about that whole situation as everybody else. Or, I guess I care a little bit more about about the confusion than everybody else. Now it is time for the main event. The Gates of Agony, which, like I said, good tag team. I do like this tag team, but it's just don't think they don't get pushed properly here in AEW. And quite honestly, I don't know if they will get pushed properly in WWE. Maybe TNA should be their thing. Anyway, of course, it starts out with a brawl. Will and Swerve have things handled until an almost miscue. Then they Gates Agony worked on Swerve Strickland. The hot tag to Osprey. He gets this shit in. Will actually accidentally hit a super kick on Swerve, but they both regrouped. Hidden Blade by Osprey wins it. Then, Will Osprey thought he was going to be cute again and grabbed the world belt, started posing with it, but Strickland made him pay for it. Kick behind the leg and gained that drive-by kick to the head, so laying Will Osprey out, and that's pretty much how they ended the show. Agree with Taz. Hey, that's something Swerve should have done in the first place. Teach him a lesson. Don't be cute grabbing my title belt away from me. You gotta win it first, kid. So, like I said, that was tonight's Dynamite. Um, okay show. You know, some build up. It just seems like they're trying to throw stuff in there to no build. Like I said, does everything need to build up? No, but it seems like just throwing things out there to put matches out there, and one match or two is probably meaningful. I mean, I get it. It's supposed to be a forbidden door, yada yada yada. Do Japan guys or international guys against or international talent against AEW talent, but I don't know. Sometimes you got the weeks to, you got so many weeks to build this thing up. Go ahead, don't need 20 matches per show, whatever, um, but have a few, then maybe some late entries for dark matches or whatever. Anyway, I have more. I'll talk more about this on my spot show live stream. Uh, Speaking of plugging in shows, let me plug in some few more shows. Every Tuesday, I do a trivia show called Wrestling Trivia Tuesday, where I ask 5 questions all dealing with the sport of professional wrestling. Check that out every Tuesday. Also, every Tuesday or Wednesday sometimes, I do a WWE Raw recap show, talking about the matches and all the little things that happen on Raw. And of course, now you're watching the AEW recap show, where I kind of quickly discuss matches and uh, throw in my 2 cents of what I think, like it really matters. But uh, hey, you know, just trying to talk and entertain and talk about wrestling because I like talking about wrestling. I like watching it. Sometimes even the bad stuff. Anyway, speaking of Thursdays, I also host a live stream called Spot Show Live Stream with me, Ronald Ray. This Thursday, of course, we'll talk about some news happening around the world of professional wrestling. Also, a prediction show for AEW's Forbidden Door. That's this Thursday, 8 p.m., or actually tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Friday morning in Japan, and 5 a.m. Friday morning in India. If, of course, you're not digging the new school stuff, you want to talk about classic wrestling, got something for you. It's called Wrestling Gold Friday Night, where we talk and have a watch along featuring classic wrestling shows. Uh, this week, of course, we be do the usual today in wrestling history. Also, we'll be doing a watch along with Florida Championship Wrestling. I haven't picked up the show yet, but check your local listings and you'll see which show I'll be doing. And of course, that's every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Saturday morning in Japan, and 5 a.m. Saturday morning in India. And like I said, that wraps up this week's AEW Dynamite show. Hope you folks liked it. Until next time, you folks have a good one and take it easy. Hey there, thank you for checking this out. If you enjoyed it, share with friends, drop a like button, leave a comment. Also, be a champ and hit that subscribe button. You can also check me out on social media, Facebook at Ronald Ray, on X or Twitter is RPATRPTV46. Until next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.